So let's start with this question. So you can go to menti.com and enter the code.
Was this from like RF something?
There was something somebody was asking. Is there any question anybody has? I heard somebody saying something.
I need to press.
Sorry, that might have been us joining.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so so we are just trying to, I'm just trying to get the conversation started. So what are your expectations from this webinar? If you go to menti.com and put the code 32404121, you should be able to learn more about Gen AI, find out about AI tools. Okay, very good, very good. Anybody else? Which platforms are, what people are using? Okay, yeah. What else? What else you want to learn today? Anybody else? GDPR. Okay, I don't know what is GDPR.
Sorry, yeah, that was my question there. GDPR is about the documentation practice, but for privacy relations.
Okay, all right, all right. Okay, let's move on. How comfortable are you with AI on a scale of 1 to 10? You may have to just slide. I believe left-hand side that you are not at all comfortable, and right-hand side is you are totally comfortable. So if you are on the right, it means you are very comfortable.
All right, we have a vote from our side, and it's 1.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Let's go and get to my slide deck over here. So this webinar is about key questions to implement generative AI in project management. So as I was talking about, I would like it to be more conversational. So still have some agenda. We'll have a little introduction, and we already talked about this. We'll have little introduction about Gen AI, and then I will get to the key questions that I shortlisted, but we'll have, if we have time, we can take more questions. Game plan for implementing generative AI, how do we go about it? There is a little quiz, and at the end, and people who win the quiz will have some prizes from RefineM side. All right, let's move on. So the objectives is what will you learn? So 2 key things. Answer to key AI related questions. So we have we came up with a list of 7 questions. Okay, and there may be more. So answers to key AI related questions, and with that knowledge, you can start building your own AI game plan for your project or for your company, for your PMO, whatever is the context. So you can start building your own AI game plan. Okay. So this is about myself. Some of you may know about me. Some of you may not know me. Just a very quick introductions. I'm a project management professional, agile coach with a keen interest in artificial intelligence for last 2 years. I'm trying to figure out how to bring AI into project management, and I will share some of the things, some of the initiatives that I have been working related to AI. That's the recent. In last couple of years, I have done a lot of work in agile world, helped many organizations transform to agile. I have been doing waterfall project management for over 20 years. Recently, a more hybrid kind of work. More hybrid. I have been consulting with organizations how they can transform from waterfall to may not be totally transformed to agile, but what are the hybrid options where you don't have to transition completely, or you may not be in a position to transform completely to agile, but you can still be more agile, than pure waterfall. So I have been consulting with the organization to establish their new, or what I call as modern project management process, which includes waterfall, agile, AI, and whatever is available to us, lean, Six Sigma, whatever. So that's what I have been working with recently. Last week, I was in Michigan, helping a company modernize their project management process. It was a workshop, 1 day workshop. It really went very, very well. So that's what I do. And our RefineM Gen AI initiative, we started working on AI in late 2023. So it has been like more than a couple of years. We did three things. So first is we have created a 2-day Gen AI course. I will call it, instead of course, I will call it a workshop. So the main differentiator between this and maybe hundreds of other AI courses is here in this workshop. The students actually do the work. They get their hands dirty, and they actually have the experience of working with Gen AI tools and solving their real problems, or experimenting with a few use cases that they think are good candidates for implementing AI. So it's a lot of hands-on work, working in the trenches kind of thing. So when you come out of this, you know exactly what to do. You have not just gained the knowledge, but you have also experimented. So we run this course every month, and we have been running it for more than a year now. Uh, I also created a AI POC group. It is a voluntary group of project managers, and we have come together to find use cases for project management, and we are actually creating proof of concept. So we are not just identifying the use cases, but then we are using the tools to actually experiment and see how a use case will be implemented in real project. For example, we did, the status report generation. Every project manager has to generate a status report. So how can you generate a status report using the AI tools? That was a POC that was completed, and we presented it at projectmanagement.com, and there is a recording available. If you go there and search the webinars on demand with my name, you will see that webinar. We also delivered a webinar on how to use earned value management, how to find the delays or variances in the project. We are actively working on a POC that how to generate project charter. how to generate risk register, how to do risk analysis. So there are several use cases that this group is working on. About, I think, about a dozen volunteer PMs. If any one of you would like to come and join the group, you are more than welcome. And also, we have worked on two AI tools, IntelliDoc.ai and dbquery.ai, with our partners in India. And this helps. IntelliDoc actually helps search information from your documents and brings that information from your documents. So if you have a document repository and you're searching for something, it can go and bring those things from those documents. These documents could be in PDF form, it could be PPT form, it could be MS Word document, it could be any format of documents. And similarly, if you and you can query these, you can submit a query in English language. That's the beauty of this. You can query this in English language. A DB query does the same thing, that you can write a query in English language. If you are a project manager, you want to search a project database and you don't know how to write a SQL, don't worry about it. You just submit your query in English, and this tool actually converts that into SQL and brings data in different forms. So multiple initiatives related to AI. I just wanted to give you a context that what myself and my team and my volunteer group has been experimenting with. Our next webinar, we're talking about agile, and a lot of conversation that you might have seen is agile dead. So we'll talk about that. This is the next webinar coming up in July. So you can sign up. It should be available for sign up very soon. We already talked about it, so we'll move forward. So let's talk about what is generative AI. So let's talk about that. So first of all, let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence. So the definition is the simulation of human intelligence in machines that can perform tasks, learn from experience, and adapt to new situations. So that's a definition of AI, but generative AI is different than AI. Okay, it is a type of AI. It's a category. It's a subcategory of AI that results in new data such as images, music, text, or code from the existing data. So it creates new information, new data, images, music, text, code based on the data that it searches for, whatever data it is searching for. So it's a new content creation, if you can think in that way. It is a new content creation. So a type of AI that allows to create new contents, new data, new images. Okay. So for example, if you have to create a slide deck, if you are presenting your status report to the leadership or to the stakeholders, and you want to have 2-3 slides developed, you can use a Gen AI tool to create those 2-3 slides. So creation of those 2-3 slides is a new content that the Gen AI tool can help with. Okay. Uh, so if you see the table here below, artificial intelligence versus generative AI, you can see the difference, between the two. Uh, so this is a bigger umbrella, artificial intelligence, bigger umbrella. Generative AI is a part of that, a particular category of AI. Okay, so that's the key differentiator between AI and Gen AI. So let's move on to the key questions. Okay, so we came up with 7 key questions that are listed. The very first one is that how AI can support what we are doing. You know, so where AI is beneficial, or how AI can be beneficial to the work that we are doing. If you are a project manager, you are managing a project. If you are doing anything else, then whatever you are doing, if you are a business analyst, you are doing a business analysis work. If you are a tester, you are doing a testing work. Whatever you are doing, if you are doing an operational work, whatever that is, and then the other question come about the data security. The other one is ethics. How do you train people? How do you prepare the staff? How do you measure success? And how do you maintain oversight? And then, of course, the tools. What are the tools available that can be used to basically use the Gen AI, or what are the Gen AI tools? So those are the 7 questions that we will be talking about. In the meantime, if you have any other question other than these 7s, just make a note and we'll come back to that. Okay. So we'll come back to that. If there is anything other than these 7 questions, there could be more, right? So we'll go through one by one each of these questions. I have some answers, but I will pause at the end of each question to see if anybody else has any more answers or anything to supplement the answers. Okay, so that's how we'll move forward. All right. So the very first thing, how can generative AI tools support what we are doing right now? Okay. So what are the things that Gen AI can support? And also, I think we'll talk about the related to project management. Yeah. So we are all, our context is project management. Okay. Just wanted to bring that back, that our context is project management. So there are a lot of project management tasks that Gen AI can do, or Gen AI tools can do. You can see several of them listed here: meeting agendas, status update. I just talked about creating the status report, meeting notes, summarizing meeting notes, risk register, identifying high level risk, quantifying them, and preparing a risk response plan, something that uh, every project manager need to do, generating emails, sending out those emails, doing some brainstormings, having some random questions. That's where it can help. Project charter, you can be, I was talking about a POC where given the requirements, the AI, you can use the tool to generate project charter. This is once again, every project manager has to create a project charter. So here's some of the things that project managers, if you see that 8, 9, 10 things listed: generating user story templates, or generating user stories, simulating base. And if you are working in the agile world, it can create user stories, it can split user stories, it can also prioritize user stories. So there are a lot of things that can be done using the Gen AI tool. Lot of project management tasks or agile related tasks can be performed by Gen AI. So that's how it can support. So think about, and on the right hand side of the table, you will say that the PM task that may not be suitable for Gen AI, at least as of today. But things can change after some time, maybe 6 months down the line, or 1 year, 2 year down the line. Some of the things that you see on the right side may move to the left side. Okay, there's a lot of development happening on the AI side. So this is based on today. The left hand things can be done by Gen AI very easily. The right hand side probably not as of today, but it's not that it cannot be done. Yeah, it cannot be done. It can be done later on. Okay. So I will pause here and see if anybody has any questions about how current project management work be supported by Gen AI, or if they want to add anything to the left or right. So anybody we don't have so many people, we have 15, 16 people. So if you want to open your microphone and can talk about it, that is fine. Or you can put in the chat, and Philip is monitoring that chat. I'm not looking at the chat. So anybody would like to add anything to these answers? Anybody has any ideas? Anything else that any project management related use case or tasks that they think Gen AI can perform, or Gen AI cannot perform? Yeah, somebody want to say something?
Yeah, what about maybe project schedule generation or resource leveling type of activities?
Yes,
Critical path analysis, things like that.
Yeah, that is doable. That is definitely doable. And if you are using Microsoft Project, Microsoft Project comes with its own AI tool called as Copilot. If you heard about Copilot, almost all tools have Copilots now. So you can actually use Copilot to do some of what you're talking about. So yes, that is doable. Your name appears as Laura. Uh, okay, yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
doable. Yes.
There's about 8 of us in the room. So
Oh,
this is Laura. All good. Thanks.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. I thought the name is Laura, but the it was sounding not like it was sounding like a male voice. So okay. So you are several people in the room. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Anybody else? So I will say Laura in the group. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, I also think, NK, that as we did some of the POCs, right, like the initiation phase, we can use it for business case, we can use for requirements gathering. So
uh-huh.
those all can be done also using Gen AI.
Yes, yes, business case development. Yes, yeah, Gen AI can be used. And Shobha, thanks for bringing that up. Thanks for. Is there anything in the project management area that you think Gen AI cannot do as of today? There are things listed on the right hand side, but uh, anything that comes to your mind other than what you see here?
Yeah, it's kind of touched on in there, but I would say, conflict resolution, both within the team and within, with the customer.
Yep, that's right. Conflict resolutions, escalations.
Conflict.
Yes, yes. Crisis management. Yeah, yeah.
All management, stakeholder management, all that, anything to do with people, or that's what.
Yeah, thing to do with people. That's a very good point. Anything to do with people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. At least not right now, but who knows about tomorrow? Okay, all right. Let's move on. Let's go to so this is another question come to mind now. Now we know, okay, this is what we can do, but how do we ensure that our data is secure? How do we ensure that our data is secure? Okay. So multiple ways you can do. First of all, do not ever share your project or your company data with any tools, external tools. If that tool is not within your network, then don't use that tool. Most of the people get tempted and they basically submit their project plan documents to the tool. Guess what? Once you submitted it, it has gone public. And if there is a confidential information or proprietary information, then that is actually gone out of your organization. So be very careful. Never share, never upload, never share any proprietary data with external tools. Make data anonymous. So if you were to use data, then remove all confidential information from that, remove all proprietary information from that, use dummy data instead of that, and then you can use that dummy data to basically seek help from AI. Okay, you need to check compliance, set some internal governance rules. So the compliance regulations, they are outside, they are like for the whole world to do, but you can have some internal rules set up in your organization to secure your data. So those are some of the ways you can secure data. Uh, so does anybody has any other ideas? How do you secure data? Any ideas how, or you might have implemented something in your organization to secure your data? Anybody else? I think one thing that is not listed here is use Gen AI tools that are purchased by your organization. Don't use a free tool. So any tool that is licensed by your organization, uh, your organization would have gone through a thorough check on the security. So your IT would have done that work. And most of the co-pilots that come with the tools, they are secure to use because they are licensed and they operate within your network. So they don't, the information is within your network, it doesn't go out. Anybody would like to add anything? How can they ensure that the data is secure? You can talk, or you can type in the chat box. Any ideas? Okay, we covered this. Good. Okay, let's move on. How can we use ethical use of generative AI? So how do we make sure use Copilot, not an autonomous decision maker, right? Establish review and approval steps. So one of the things is make sure when you get an output from a Gen AI tool, somebody looks at it. Okay, somebody looks at it. They may accept it as is, or they may make changes, but another pair of eyes to look at it. So I think that's very important to review and approval. Uh, Train users to check for biases, hallucinations, and inconsistencies. So a check by somebody need to check for all these kind of things. So that's important. I think the key part here is that don't just take that output as is, but somebody need to review it and make changes as needed. So that's the important part here, to make sure it is ethical use of Gen AI. Anybody would like to add anything? Any ideas? Anybody would like to add anything? And also, in the meantime, if you are thinking about other questions, other those 7 questions, you can make a note, or you can type in the chat bar, in the chat box. You can type it. So we'll come back to there, and we'll look at any additional questions that
I see a
you
question
might.
here from Rohit, or a comment in the chat. So for Gen AI data has to be genuine, do all stakeholders really and to provide the real data?
What, you read it too fast, Philip?
Oh, sorry. So for Gen AI data has to be genuine, do all stakeholders really and to provide the real data? And if Rohit, if you can expand on that too, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Can you expand on that? Somebody who wrote that, you need to unmute your microphone if you are speaking with your microphone switched off. Okay, we'll come back to that. How can we
before you moved on, I had a quick comment. So
yeah.
one of the applications that you mentioned was like summarizing meeting minutes. I know you can use the co-pilots to kind of listen into the meeting and then generate those meeting minute summaries. You need to inform everyone in the meeting that their bot is recording, basically.
Yes. Yes, I think you need to inform that. Yes, that's a ethical part of it. Yes, like if you are doing recording, if you do the meeting recording, you normally declare that, or you get a message that this meeting is being recorded. So yes, I think if you are doing that, you should normally, when you have note taker tool, AI tool, normally in your meeting it appears as one of the attendees, and you can see that, but normally every attendee may not look at that. So yeah, I think it's important to have a declaration that we are using a note taking tool, automated note taking tool, to summarize the meeting, and those tools, I have used some of they do a brilliant job. They do a brilliant job. You can have the transcript where everything is dumped, and but that's not much useful. But you can have a tool summarize and create the summary of it and action items. I think that's very helpful. That's very helpful, and project managers have to do that for every meeting minutes, summary minutes. They have to send it. So, guess you finish the meeting, and after that, it's all ready for you to use it. Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Yes. Another one. Okay. All right. Um, so, how can we train project managers and PMO staff to prepare for use of Gen AI? So you need to develop some training program that covers technical skills and the best practices. So I think that's very important. So if you want to bring AI in your PMO, or even if you don't have PMO, you don't have a formal PMO, but you have multiple PMs working on projects. You may not have even sometimes you may not have full-time PMs. You may have people doing other role as well as the role of a PM in many situations. So somebody who is kind of overseeing that project management aspect need to make sure that the project managers are get some training. One training is that they can say, okay, here is a training provided by PMI, here is a training provided by Google, Microsoft, Amazon, or whatever, right? Or LinkedIn. So you can go and get the training. That definitely will provide knowledge, right? But then how to take that knowledge and implement in your organization. The question comes like, what tools we are going to use? What tools are there in the organization? What tools are not in the organization? Okay, so that's another conversation that need to create, and you can create your own pilot programs like proof of concept. I am doing with my volunteer group. Shobha is part of that volunteer group. So we are doing in our volunteer group, but then we cannot, as that volunteer group, we cannot use real data from projects. Okay, so we are creating some dummy projects and using that. But in your case, you can have your own project. You can identify a couple of pilot projects where you want to do this. Ensure data analysis, AI tool operation, and critical evaluation of AI outputs are covered. Okay, so that's how you can get your project managers ready for using the AI. And if somebody wants to go ahead and add that what else they did in their organization, or what they think they should be doing in their organization other than this to bring AI. Anybody? Someone from Laura's group? What else? All right. So that's covered pretty much there. Let's move on to the next one. Continuous learning. We're talking about that. How do you measure success? Okay, we have been using Gen AI tool. How do I know? How do I know that this is successful? You know, the promise that the is made usually that it can save about 25-30% of project manager's time. Okay, so the work that project manager used to do in 40 hours, now with the use of the tool, they may be able to do it in 30-32 hours, right? That's what is the kind of, if it is utilized fully, means you cannot just start today and say tomorrow, the project manager should be able to save that much time. And once they save time, then where they should use the time saved. So where they should use the time saved to make the project management more effective. So so that's the part which you saw in the right hand side of the table. Anything related to people, that's what Shobha was talking about. Anything related to people, that's where the project manager can focus on that 25% time saved. So don't try to say, okay, now AI, we can use AI tools so we can save 25% of time, so we can we can give more project to the project managers. That's not going to help much. But let the project manager handle the parts that AI cannot handle, so that there is an overall effectiveness in the project. So how do you succeed? Time saved on documentation or planning. You know? So whatever time it used to take, like for example, generating a status report, generating minutes of the meeting, and any other kind of documentation, right? So it's, if you are generating weekly status report, maybe the project manager is spending a couple of hours or even more to generate that status report. And if he is facilitating maybe 6, 7, 8 meetings in a week, and for each meeting he has to generate the meeting notes and send it out, that particular part can be saved. Okay. Uh, Reduction in administrative workload. A lot of administrative work that the project managers do can be carried out. User satisfaction with AI assisted outputs. How consistent, how good is AI assisted output? So that's another user satisfaction you can do. Accuracy and quality of Gen AI suggestions via peer review. So it says there's something, maybe the PM looks at it, maybe the other PM looks at it and say, okay, this seems like it makes sense. Oh, no, it's talking, nonsense or something like that. So these are some of the ways it will be good to set some kind of a measures to say, okay, how AI is basically helping the project management area or project managers. Anything else that you think you can do to measure the success of Gen AI tool deployment or using Gen AI? Anything else?
We have another question in the chat from Rafi. Can Gen AI and BIM be combined? I think that
Gen
BIM
AI
is a
and what?
business intelligence management. Is that it, Rafi? BIM?
So
okay, yes,
business
business
intelligence. Yeah, I think those two are related, but those two are different things. Gen AI is basically, as you talked about, creating new contents, and business intelligence is basically trying to figure things out within the data. It may not create any new content, okay, but it can find things. Okay, it can find things. It can give you perspective. It can give you insights, but it may not create any new content or new data. Okay, all right. So how do we maintain human oversight and accountability? Implement human review, as I was talking earlier, establish clear accountability. So one of the things that I think we need to be very careful that the project manager is still accountable. So if a status report is generated by AI and project manager is distributing that status report, project manager is still accountable. They cannot go back and say, oh, I didn't know it, how Gen AI created this, right? So there has to be an accountability. There has to be an oversight. You can use Gen AI to help creating new content, new information, but accountability is still is with the PM. Accountability is still live. So there has to be an accountability. There has to be a a uh, a, uh, a transparency and all those kind of things. So that is what is very important. The next one is the tools. I think that's many of you may be interested in knowing what are the different tools to get started, and you can see the market is flooded with tools. Market is flooded with tools. There are hundreds of tools. It's mind-boggling. There are hundreds of tools that are available, and in this table we have put some of the most common tools. ChatGPT and PMI Infinity are the two very common tools. So ChatGPT is a non-PMI tool, and PMI Infinity is of course PMI tool. So for PMI Infinity, you need to be a PMI member to access it. But ChatGPT free version is available to everybody. You can use ChatGPT. Many of you may already be using both of these for writing and communication for different purposes. So you can see the first column is the use case, what really you want to do. And then in the middle one, you can see the name of the tool. So there are probably more than a dozen tools listed over here for doing different things. And this is not, I think there's some places it is mentioned Copilot, like Microsoft Copilot, Excel, PowerPoint, and all that. There is a GitHub Copilot. There's a Microsoft Project Copilot. So there are a lot of Copilots. Office 365 Copilot, which is Excel, PowerPoint, MS Word, and all those kind of things. So there are Copilots, and a Jira Copilot. I think there's another one that people use Jira for project management. So there's Jira Copilot. So there are several Copilots, and there are several other tools that are available. So you can actually you don't have to restrict to just one tool. You can have multiple tools that you can use to get the best outcomes that you may be looking for. And there are other tools that you might be using or you may be aware of. So there are a lot of tools. So that concludes our questions. So I will let me finish this. Then I will come back to if you have any other AI related questions. So what is the game plan? How do we implement Gen AI? So first of all, there is a three-phased approach that is being proposed here: foundation and assessment. So foundation and assessment means figure out the use cases in your environment, maybe half a dozen use cases. Okay. And you need not have to go down to create 20 use cases or something, maybe 5-6 use cases, where you think bringing an AI tool can make significant impact. So identify those 5-6 use cases, assess those, how much time is being spent, what is the quality of things, and once you bring it, then how that is impacted, and do a pilot. Means you identify 5-6 use cases, maybe pick 1 or 2 use cases, apply them to 1 or 2 projects, and see how it goes. And then you scale and optimize, and then you can apply that across multiple projects. You can add more use cases. So you can expand, you can scale and optimize. So first do some assessment, identify use cases, do a pilot, and then scale and optimize. So that's the game plan or the strategy to implement Gen AI. So before we go to questions, I will just say let's do this quiz also. Okay, so I'll have to this can stay here. So the winner, there'll be the top two winners will get any of these prizes. So let's go to our Menti again, and so I will have there are 4 people who are already there in Menti. We have about 16, 17 people. So I will expect at least 50% people may participate in this quiz. So we have 4 people in the quiz already. Go to menti.com, and Laura, for your group, anybody can join from their cell phone. So if you have, bunch of people in your room, then each one of them can join in the game. So I'll give like maybe 15 more seconds for everybody to join. Simple part, and I think it will be fun. So when you start, once I start, you will see the fun. So another 5-10 seconds I will wait. Good. We have 7 people now. In the 8, excellent. Very good. Very good. 8. So we got about 50%. I think this is good. This is good. So let's get started. So questions will come. There are 5 questions. They will come one after the other, and there will be scoring. Okay. So this is the first question coming up. Which of the following is an example of Gen AI? Okay, so most of you are, what happened here? Oh, okay. Nobody scored anything. Okay, all right. So let's go to the next one here. What of the following task is suitable for Gen AI? Okay, so many of you are correct. So we should see some scores now. Yeah, now we start to seeing the scores. Okay, all right. So Martin is leading. Let's get to the next one. Okay, some of you are right. So let's see how it changes the scoring. Let's see if Martin is still leading. Yeah, Martin is still leading. This is the 4th question. We are on to this. Okay, all right. So let's see what the situation is. Okay, Martin is still leading. This is the last question we have here. Let's see if somebody can overcome, Martin? Okay. Wow. Yeah, everything is wrong. I think this question is not put correctly. Philip, you may have to check on this. So, but based on that, Martin, you are the winner, and Laura, you are the second one. So if you can send me an email and which one you would like to have out of these, then Philip can organize that. Okay, so in conclusion, think about what you are currently doing and how GenAI can help. Consider what PMO and project plan need, and ensure you are integrating data security and ethical practices. So those are the kind of conclusions that we have. So this is the 2-day AI tool workshop that I was talking about. We do a lot of hands-on where you practice. Our next class is on July 18 and 19. Every month we have this 2-day class that we do, and as I told you, it is basically doing lots of work in the training in the class. Also, this is our webinar coming up on 17th July. We will be talking about questions like, is Agile truly dead, or it is evolving? Why Scrum Masters and Agile coaches are struggling? You can see if you are a Scrum Master or you are an Agile coach or you are related to that, then I see a lot of them struggling. If you want to join the webinar, you can join with the link here, and very soon it will be up and on our website. All right, and this is the how you claim your PDUs, and this is the time for Q&A. So I will stop sharing, and let's have the question. Is there any other question anybody has related to AI? That
I have a question.
yes.
This is the real Laura.
Okay.
If AI generates meeting notes and there's something in there that assumes contractual liability of any kind, does that stand up or not?
That stand up or not? What you're asking?
Yeah, in the court of law, is it legitimate?
I don't know that, Laura.
Just
I
asking
don't
for a
know
friend.
that. Yeah, I don't know that part. It is legitimate or in the court or not, but I really don't know that answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
don't know
think
that.
it's debatable, right?
Yes, I think so. Does anybody else? Can anybody else have an opinion on that? Was that?
Sorry, we were just having a side conversation because John said, well, if it's a recording, but if it's a recording translated to a, verbiage, words.
Yeah, and it may not be
That's-
those exact words, because when it is summarizing, it's creating
Right.
a new content. So it's not actually the recording.
Right.
Is there a way to see the recording?
If you have done the recording, yes.
So
But if you did not record,
if you
but
use
you
the
did
meeting
not
notes,
record, then how do you see that?
Yeah, you're saying if you can trace the summary back to the recording.
Like they said, some of the pilots will give you a full transcript.
So when you record it, you have an option. So when you
they will give you a transcript. They will give you a transcript if you enable it. It will not give you by default.
Got it.
So then if you get the transcript, that will hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes.
That's exactly what was said, that just the notes are being generated from the actual transcript.
Yeah. I guess another question I had is, what is your experience or exposure to AI in ERP systems, other than an Infor product to be exact?
Yeah, I think most of the ERP systems have co-pilots now. So you can use those co-pilots.
Okay.
Yeah, like Salesforce.com or ServiceNow or any other bigger ERP, they have co-pilots.
Thank you.
What are the
Anybody?
threats? This is Wayne.
Yes, Wayne.
So, I guess, I suppose this is very situational, but I mean, you've worked with a lot of customers, and what maybe are the top 3 sort of highest value, easiest things to implement right away, kind of the low hanging fruit,
Yeah, that's what my POC group is doing, Wayne. And we have already done like status reporting. I'm talking from project management perspective. So status reporting, very low hanging fruit. Every project manager has to do it, and it can be done very well. You can create a status report, 1-page status report. You can create a longer status report. You can create 2-3 slides that go on the status report. So I think that will be a very low hanging fruit. Risk management is another very low hanging fruit. Lot of co-pilots and ChatGPT, PMI Infinity, they create pretty good risk registers, pretty good risk response plans. Of course, somebody has to look at it. You cannot take it just as it is. So risk one is another very low hanging fruit. Generating project charter is another very low hanging fruit. So, and of course the meeting notes and all those kind of things. So there are several, at least half a dozen things that are pretty low hanging things that any project manager can implement. And that's what some of those we teach. If you are agile team, if you have a larger story and you want to split into smaller stories, AI tools can do that. So you can split a larger story into smaller story. You can create user stories. You can create test cases. One of the POCs that one team is doing is creating test cases from requirements. So, but that may not be a low hanging fruit, Wayne. But there are some of the other things that I just talked about. There are a lot of low hanging fruit which can be easily done, very, very quickly done. That was good one, Wayne. Yeah, we are 1 minute over, but I can stay here for a few more minutes if there are other questions. I think this is a very interesting topic. Anybody has any other questions?
No, I don't. Thank you, though.
Okay, thank you, Wayne. Okay, if you do not have any other questions, thanks a lot. The recording of this will be available on after a couple of days. And if you have any follow-up questions, you can always write to me. And if you want to join my POC group, write to me, and we can take you and we can do your own POC, or you can join another POC team to see what they are doing and how they are using the tools to implement those use cases. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.